and the thing sticking out of its mouth kind of looked like the belly of another lizard.
No way! Are we witnessing war? Hello, YouTube! Welcome into another video. Today we're reacting to some TerraGreen. I flipped 100 rocks in a rainforest. Here's what I found. I love rainforests. If you let me loose in a rainforest, all I would do is look at the plants. I love plants. All right, let's see what he finds.
Outside in rainforests, there's tons of random objects like this rock, which when you flip them, you'll find life you would have never known
Is that a cockroach?
existed. This first one just had a bunch of random insects, but in this video, I'll be flipping 100 different rocks in the Puerto Rican rainforest.
Oh,
find
Puerto
all sorts of
Rican.
weird lizards,
Does he travel for his videos?
venomous spiders, and even crazy snakes you've never seen
I hate worms. Everything about them. I hate the way they look. I hate the way they smell. I hate the way they move.
before. However, right now, I'm still pretty close to a city, but as I travel deeper and deeper into the rainforest, the animals get cooler and cooler. And maybe
Oh my god, turtles! Look at that!
at the end, we'll even be able to find extremely rare ones. And so I made my
Holy
way over
shit.
to object number 2, and literally right under the piece of wood was this insane
That's from Harry Potter! The Evidicadibi!
alien-looking creature. They're called tailless whip
Oh,
scorpions.
fuck me. This is the reason I don't want to visit the rainforest. I want the plants, not whatever this shit is.
And I've actually made entire videos about keeping these guys as pets. It's crazy we already found something this weird and rare, and so I continued exploring. Eventually, I came across object number 3, which underneath had this weird-looking white worm thing. But in fact, this is not a worm at all. It's a baby beetle. Basically, over time, these little larvae will start to mutate and eventually will break out of their shell and become a beetle. And
I like the beetle. I think the beetle is cute, but I wish I could skip this ass form of worm. You know what I mean?
this one is absolutely massive, so it's probably gonna turn into some giant mutant
This one I think is cool. I don't mind this one as long as it doesn't like fly into my face.
rainforest beetle with a massive horn. Hopefully we'll find one of those later, but anyways, I went and flipped rock 4, which had nothing underneath. From
Oh,
now
man.
on, I'm not going to show anything with nothing, so it'll just be constant cool rainforest
Oh my god. I keep on forgetting that the scorpions are real.
animals. And that's exactly what I found with rock number 7, because underneath was this weird white thing in a hole. But after moving around the dirt a bit,
It's a spider with a gig attached to it. Holy shit.
I realized this was actually a wolf spider's home. And that massive white thing, well, that's its egg sac, and soon it'll hatch into hundreds of mini
Why would you hold it in your hand?
spiders. You can see the spider mom was super defensive and did not leave the egg sac at all.
Man, no
so I
shit.
put her home back and kept exploring. Soon after, I came across the next object, which when I tried to flip it, well, it kind of broke apart in my hands.
Ugh.
And this happened because if you
Termites, right?
take a closer look on here, there's tons of these little white bugs crawling all over it. These are termites, which you probably already know eat wood like this. They'll literally just set up their
I hate termites. I don't like them at all, man.
entire colonies inside of these dead logs and just eat them from the inside out. Now, under object number 10, I found the coolest thing so far.
Oh shoot, what is
Oh,
that?
You see, on the
snake.
bottom side of the log, I saw this little tail thing poking out from under the bark.
It's a
At
snake,
first,
isn't
I thought
it?
it was some sort of worm,
I hope that's a snake. I really
but
hope
if you
it
look
is.
closely, you can see it has a bunch of tiny little scales on it, so it can't be a worm. So there was only one thing to do. Get
It's a gecko.
out the backpack. You see, in the backpack, I've packed tons of items to be able to interact with the wildlife out here. And the first item we're taking out is these tweezers. Using the tweezers, I started to peel back some of the bark on the log until I eventually revealed the animal.
That is not a gecko. If it is, it's a really long gecko.
It really looked so much like a worm, but you can tell by how it was slithering
It was a
around
little
that it was actually a snake. These are called
It's funny to me how I'm deadly terrified of worms, but like when it's a snake, I'm like, cute, a baby.
mini blind snakes, and they're the smallest species in the whole world. Basically, this species spends their whole life underground just like worms do. And a fun fact about them is they're all female. Basically, they have the ability to clone their genes into an egg, and that's how more snakes are born. So if you ever see one of these in the wild, just know it has the same exact genes as this one does. It's pretty crazy. Now, by this point, I reached my first little water section of the trail, which was absolutely beautiful.
Well dang, I don't really know if you can hear me, but this is a pretty nice
Oh, I want to hang out in a place like this and just like be in the water looking for gold and stuff. You know what I mean? Artifacts and stuff that's like lost in the water due to time.
area, as you can see. But basically, I just want to see if I can see something under the water with the GoPro.
Now, obviously, GoPros are waterproof, which lets me do this. And at first, it was kind of just a cloudy mess, but then this fish came out of nowhere. Knowing that there was at least one fish down here, I put the camera back under and figured out that there was a whole school of them. However, since the water
This reminds me of when I used to watch like scuba diving content all the time.
was so cloudy, I couldn't couldn't really tell the species, so I walked down alongside the river for a little bit until it got a bit clearer, and then I stuck my GoPro underneath again. This time there was even more of those same fish, and now—
Is that snails? I had a dream the other night that I was covered in snails, and I was running around crying because I didn't want to be covered in snails.
now I could clearly see that these were mountain mullets, which are a species native to these Puerto Rican rainforests. You see, this species is really cool because they actually are born in oceans, and once they're born, they swim up the rivers into Puerto Rico to get to these remote rainforest
Dude, fish that like go from saltwater to freshwater freak me the fuck out. What do you mean you can do that? What do you mean you adapt to that?
streams. Then when it's time to lay eggs, they swim back to the ocean and repeat the process. It's very cool. Also, by the way, right next to these fish were a ton of these little aquatic snails, which are super important for the environment.
I ate snails too. Get away from me.
They eat up all the algae. Anyways, a bit later, I came across this rock with a little lizard sitting on top. When I got close, it of course ran away, but I figured this was a good omen, so I flipped it, and underneath there was nothing. But since
I love lizards. They're so cute.
that lizard was sitting on top of the rock, I figured that underneath of it could actually be its home. So I had an idea, and I got out the backpack, and inside I took out this little container of super worms. Then I basically put a bunch of them onto my hand.
Wait, can't you eat these?
And just put them under the rock in case the lizard wanted to eat some of them. Now, I was just gonna leave them and walk away, but then I noticed that that same exact lizard that was sitting on top of the rock had actually already ran over and ate one of the worms. And yeah.
I love their feet. You can't really see it because it's fucking acclimatizing with the rock.
He was enjoying it a ton. You're welcome, buddy. There's more where that came from. And speaking of lizards eating stuff, nearby I also went and flipped this rock that had nothing underneath, but out of the corner of my eye, I noticed another lizard. And this guy instantly went on the run and started parkouring across the rocks to get away from me.
Do you think there's like lizards out there that are like pink and blue?
But eventually I did get a closer look and realized this was a green anole lizard, and it looked like there was something actually massive in its mouth. And the thing sticking out of its mouth kind of looked like the belly of another lizard.
No way! Are we witnessing war? Cannibalism? What's happening?
Which would make sense because these green anole lizards are cannibalistic killers.
They are cannibalists! Holy shit! There's enough food in the forest. You don't have to eat each other.
And when they're hungry, they'll just straight up eat their friends. Yeah, talk about fake friends, am I right? Anyways, a bit later, I flipped this rock here, and underneath, I found my first ant colony. You see, ant colonies are a bit rarer in rainforests like this, which is why I didn't see any up to this point, so it was a kind of cool find. And then the rock I flipped right—
I think it's interesting. I thought ants were like the insects that exist like the most in the world.
right after also had another ant colony of the same exact species.
Oh, damn.
Now, I'm pretty sure
that's a lot of— Is that rice? It looks like rice grains, but I'm assuming it's eggs.
the species is called big-headed ants, which I can tell because as you can see, some of the workers have massive heads that are like 3 times the size of normal workers. This happens because at birth, the normal worker ants find the biggest and strongest pupa and spray a special pheromone on them. Then as the pupa grow older and older, they just grow up with massive heads and help move around. Some
So, heads?
workers can't. In this case, the big-headed workers were helping move the eggs back underground since I moved their rock. Sorry guys, let me put that back. Now by this point, I was starting to get deeper into the rainforest, so we should start to expect the animals to get cooler and cooler. And that was actually shown because the very next thing I flipped had a proper snake behind it. But as you can see, it was a little bit camera shy because it instantly slithered into the bushes before I could get a good look. So I got out the backpack.
I hope it finds like orchid stuff. Orchid bees? Orchid mantises? They're so cute, man.
And inside, I packed this snake hook. Basically, people use these snake hooks to pick up deadly venomous snakes so they don't get bit. And obviously, I didn't want to get bit, so using the hook, I started to dig around in the grass it slithered into and tried to look for it. But unfortunately, the hook just ended up breaking.
Oh! Damn, what the f— That hook would not protect you from the snake. What the hell?
It broke. Oh my gosh.
But this was still a good sign for cool rare animals, and trust me, we'll be finding more snakes very soon. Now, the next rock I flipped had this weird little fuzzy worm under it. Now, even after searching online, I couldn't really figure out what this is. I thought it could be like a moth cocoon, but I'm pretty sure those only grow—
Maybe that's a plant.
on trees, so comment if you know what this is. But behind that crawled out this little bug, which—
Oh, it's an isopod! I hate isopods too because they look too much like cockroaches.
oh, I have experience with these guys a lot. These are called isopods, and they're sometimes called roly-polies because they roll up into a ball when threatened. But
That is kind of cute though. I think that's the only cute part about a roly-poly is how they can ballify themselves.
I love these guys because I always put them in the terrariums I build at home because they eat all the dead matter and keep everything clean. So yeah, thanks for existing, guys. You're awesome. I kept on venturing through the rainforest and eventually came across this fence with a few bricks laid on the floor under it. It looked like the perfect spot for animals to be hiding under, and I was right, because
Maybe a frog. I'm guessing a frog. I'm betting all on frog.
under that first brick was this massive
Never mind. What the It looks like a date.
beetle. And after getting a closer look, I could tell this was some sort of rhinoceros
Holy
beetle, which
shit.
are called rhinoceros beetles
Dude, what the do they eat? Cow?
because the males grow these massive horns on their head, which they use to fight each other with. But this is a female, which is why it doesn't have a horn. In fact,
Oh, it's a girly pop. She cute.
if you remember that massive beetle larva from earlier, I think that actually turns into one of these. So yeah, that's
I think they're super cool. I just wish they could skip the wormy phase.
pretty cool that we got to find one of these. Under the next brick was this little centipede bug, and under the third brick was this little slug. I'm not sure what species
Ooh, I hate slugs. Get the out away from me.
this is, but I left my phone pointing at it for a couple minutes and got this cool time-lapse footage of it
Ew.
slugging around. Now, as I kept on venturing, I found a cool bug under this rock. At first, I know you can't really see anything, but if I zoom in and
Is that the stinger of a scorpion?
highlight this spot here, there's actually a cave cricket right here.
Never mind.
Which is just super camouflaged. But these guys are cool because
Holy
they basically have
shit.
the ability to teleport when they sense danger. Yeah, they really just move
Dude, all crickets do that. They literally boom, gone. It's crazy.
so fast that it looks like teleportation. That's pretty crazy. But this next rock I flipped had something I've never seen before. Of course, right there, you can tell that there was a little worm under the
It's a
dirt,
worm.
but above and to the left of it was this weird little white thing. I thought
You know, actually, I applaud him for making these videos because I could never do what he does.
at first it could be like a termite or something, but after getting a closer look, I realized it resembled the shape of a worm egg sac. For some reason, I just never thought that.
I don't want to watch this. Oh, it's freaking me out. They come out of eggs. I don't know why I thought that worms just kind of like duplicated somehow. Like they just metamorphosis. You know what I mean?
That worms came out of eggs. Yeah, apparently this is what it looks like when they're born. They just gotta rip their way out of an egg. Dang, that's cool. Now, by this point on the trail, I had gotten to this little section of paved road, and while I was walking on it, I ended up coming across this.
Oh, shoot. Wait, look at this.
Oh damn,
shoot. It's
that's a roadkill.
a snake. Look at that.
But if you're
poor
wondering
little
why it's not
baby.
moving and blurred, well, that's because it was actually run over by a car
Aw,
here.
poor baby.
Unfortunately, accidents like this are bound to happen on roads, but this
Yeah.
is still a good sign for finding more cool animals like this. And thankfully, that's exactly what I found as I made it back to the trail. You see, the first rock I flipped, I saw a little burrow underneath, but I didn't even realize that there was something sitting on the rock I was grabbing.
Oh damn! Holy shit! He just grabbed it. He's not even using gloves. No.
I saw
Yeah, he's not even using gloves. Holy crap, he's insane. He started to use gloves in the newer videos, and I wonder if that's because he learned from one of these videos. Like something happened. You know what I mean?
a little burrow underneath, but I didn't even realize that there was something sitting on the rock I was grabbing.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I did not see that. Hold on. There's a hairy
Don't they have like spiky hairs?
spider camouflaged on this rock right now.
This is actually a Puerto Rican tarantula, and
Holy
they're
crap.
extremely rare to just find out in the open in the day like this. Yeah, they usually spend their entire days underground in some sort of burrow. For this tarantula, I had to get out the backpack,
The backpack. What are you gonna do? Put it in a jar?
and from inside, I once again pulled out this container of
Oh, yeah, the
super
worms.
Then, using some tweezers, I basically just started to wave around the worms in front of the tarantula's face to see if he'd eat them. And yeah, it didn't really seem like he was liking it too much, 'cause he got
Let's do it!
really defensive and ran into his burrow. He even started to run towards me. Since these guys are venomous, I did not want to make him any more angry, and I put his home back on top.
Sorry, buddy. I'll leave you alone now.
Anyways, I kept flipping random
Again, I'm saying, like, I could never do what he's doing.
objects as I continued down the trail and wasn't finding many animals for a while. But I did find some pretty random stuff, like just a whole fruit
Oh.
under this leaf, which was like kind of mushy and moldy, so I didn't try and eat it.
Like, that's what I would do. If I was in this spot, I would do, like, plants and fruits. I would be like, what type of fruits can I find? What type of plants can I find?
And also, while walking, I found this weird bone thing on the side of the trail.
Ooh.
I'm not 100% sure what this bone belongs to, but I do know Puerto Rico used to have some like wild pigs running around back in the day, which I guess this would make
Huh.
sense if this was a pig bone, but let me know in the comments if you're
Is there anybody in chat that actually collects bones? I wonder.
a bone expert. I'm not really. Now, under Object 92, there was this little millipede, but also right next to it was this weird black bug I've never seen before. But I
I've seen those before. We had them in our trash can.
figured out it's called a rove beetle, and what makes them so cool are these spikes on their back.
Holy
you see, when they
shit,
dig
man.
under the dirt a bit, they poke out those spikes on their back to mimic little claws or pinchers poking out of the dirt, which will scare away predators. Also, apparently, they have wings they can just unfold like a robot
Oh, they can fly! Burn them.
and let them fly away. I have no idea how nature evolved to do this. Now, by this point, I was starting to get worried because it was starting to get late, and I knew there was still
Cute doggy.
bigger tarantulas and scorpions to be found out here. And yeah, the next few rocks I flipped also had nothing, but that wasn't until object number 96 when I found this. It was another tarantula, and this one
Holy shit, he's like folded. He's in loaf mode.
is actually a Puerto Rican pink-toed tarantula.
Pink? Oh, pink toad.
Which is a slightly different species.
Okay, now this is cool. It's bigger than that first tarantula we just found. And since
Holy
this guy's a bit
crap.
bigger, I think I actually have something in the backpack for it.
From
Holy
inside, I
crap.
pulled out this stick, which actually lets
What are you gonna do with the stick?
me attach my GoPro camera to it. Basically, I want to use this stick to get the GoPro super close to the tarantula without having to worry about getting bit, and that's exactly what I did, because I went and gently nudged the leg of the tarantula with the GoPro,
I love the very blurry footage.
and it actually woke up. Then I bumped it again, and this time it ran around to the other side of the log.
Look at
Finally, I
him.
just waved it around a bit more in front of him, and he wasn't really doing anything. To be
He's actually a little bit cute, not gonna lie. Have you seen the toes of tarantulas? They're like tiny little paws.
honest, I don't really know what I expected. And now, as you can see, I was getting pretty near the end of the trail, and underneath some of the final objects, I was finding no new animals. And eventually, it got time to flip object 100. So I looked around for the best thing to flip.
Is it gonna be the blue one?
And while I was exploring, I actually came across this dirt area with this metal piece of trash in the middle. Of course, I looked inside of it to see if there was anything, and I didn't see anything at first, but for some reason, I decided to turn on my phone flashlight to double check, and that's when I found this. It's a scorpion. And not only was there that, because when I moved the trash to get a better angle at the scorpion,
The fact that he's not wearing gloves is crazy to me.
I found a second scorpion also on the walls of
God
this trash.
damn.
These are Puerto Rican bark scorpions, and they've
Oh,
actually
look at this. Look at the fucking eyes.
got pretty painful stings.
Bro, this is so insane. This whole time I've been trying to find scorpions. And literally on object 100, this is where the scorpions are.
God
Hey, I'm not
damn.
complaining because I've packed something in the backpack specifically for if I found these guys, and it's a
Some of them are UV, right?
flashlight. Now, you may already know this, but if you turn on the flashlight and go through the modes or something, eventually it'll turn blue or purple, as you can see. And now if we go and shine this inside here,
Holy crap, that's actually insane. What?
look at that. Scorpions
That doesn't look real.
are able to glow in the dark. And that's how you know these are real scorpions, everybody.
Yeah, I thought they were fake. Thank you for proving that they're real. Lizards, cute feet, tarantulas, cute toes. I think I see a pattern here. I promise I'm not into feet.
If you saw my last video about rock flipping, you know this is the same exact way it ended. Because I had found scorpions on one of the last objects and made them glow in the dark. Which it's
You can literally go out in the forest in the middle of the night with a UV light and they're just gonna shine like Christmas lights.
Hello! If you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you like it, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and turn on the notification bell if you want to see more of it. I also go live on Twitch about 4 times a week, so come join us sometime. Bye!